SMU's Johns finds strength in relationships. Horses during winding medical journey. There are days when Haley Johns feels like her old self. She has the drive and energy to handle any challenge, without limits or restrictions. And then, there are days when the bottom drops out. She is depleted, exhausted, barely functional. It can hit unexpectedly, if she's not careful. This has become her reality, one she never could have imagined 5 years ago. Every day, I learn more and more about myself in terms of my health. I've always known myself and had a very sure sense of self and who I am and what I'm about, which has been very important through all this. But I get to know my health, my physical needs, and what works for me better and better every year, John said. There are stumbling blocks every few months, always, without question. But they're smaller every time, and I learn how to overcome them a little better every time. Johns came to Dallas in the fall of 2020, ready to help the SMU equestrian program reach new heights. She will leave the school this spring having battled through improbable odds to see the finish line, refusing to let a medical mystery derail her collegiate experience. Between the start and the end, Johns found out who she was surrounded by, and what was most important to her. And for each lesson, no matter how difficult, she is grateful. An unanticipated pastime. Rick Johns often thinks back to the moment that could have changed everything. Just before turning 4 years old, Haley woke up from a nap, walked up to her mother, Jen, and made a proclamation: I was born for horses, and they were born for me, and I want to ride horses. The statement came out of nowhere. The Johns weren't an equine family. Jen had ridden when she was younger, but had no involvement as an adult. There were no books or movies in the home centered around horses that could have influenced Haley into this sentiment. Her parents thought the fascination would pass, but it didn't. Haley remained adamant that horses were going to be her focus. Rick found a farm about 45 minutes away from the family's home in northwest Indiana that agreed to give Haley a lesson. Upon arrival, their oldest daughter had a sudden change of heart. I think the father in me kicked in, Rick said with a laugh. I said, listen, you made a commitment to do this. We're wasting this young lady's time. We've driven all this way. I don't care if you never get on another horse again the rest of your life. But you're getting on that horse today. I picked her up, put her in that saddle, and she never got out. What started that day reshaped the Johns household forever. Horses became Haley's passion, leading her all over the region and country for competition. As a sophomore, she enrolled in Indiana University High School, an online, self-guided program, allowing her the freedom to work at a local equine facility and compete at events on her own schedule. Between practice and working at the barn, she'd often be gone for 12+ hours before coming home to tackle AP classes. Her work ethic, academic success, and skills were enough for former SMU coach Carol Gwynn to take a look. On paper, Haley didn't have some of the accolades other prospective riders came in with, but Gwynn saw the potential. She's very good at getting horses to where they need to be for a competition day, Gwynn said. Her strength is that she is very good at figuring out how to get the best out of a horse very quickly. For the first time in her life, Haley was going to be on her own. While many others see college as a time when life picks up speed, Haley had a feeling things were about to slow down. She was looking forward to settling into a routine that was balanced and scheduled. I was used to running at a very high pace. That was just my normal, Haley said. College, honestly, when I first got here, felt easy. It was like, wow, this is kind of a breeze. I have actual time to breathe now, and have a social life, and do all these things now. That was super exciting for me.